Be prepared for huge volatility in the upcoming hours. I will show you exactly why you have to be careful trading today and why potentially it is much better to sit on your hands and wait until later or tomorrow. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Sunday today. So we jump directly into the charts, into the CME chart that will open tomorrow, not today, because tomorrow is a holiday in the US. So the markets are closed and I expect CME to open, basically tomorrow night again. So currently the CME chart is showing us that Bitcoin closed Friday at $108,750 and we are currently trading around $107,000. So here is a $1,700 gap currently. So if we hold that gap, that would mean that we have to come up to close that gap here latest by Wednesday again, you know the drill, guys, and then most likely continue to go higher from here. So the other possibility is that based on Jerome Powell's speech later at 2:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that it get really crazy in the market, get a lot of volatility going up and down, and maybe stay already above $108,000. Get no CME gap and just continue to go higher from tomorrow onwards. But I see one problem with that. I'm going to show you that here in the charts. So first of all, the good news. So on the 1 hourly chart, we're currently forming a W pattern. But we need still to complete the right side here of that W pattern. So if we would complete that, then the neckline is the 0.786 level that I pointed out yesterday already. That should become our entry then for that trade at $109,825. And I also give you the price target here. Price target for that W pattern would be a new all-time high of $112,750 and would be almost halfway through the overall trading setup that we have here from the entry, as I just mentioned, for the 0.786 all the way up to $118,100. Now on the 15 minutes chart, we have lost the support zone that we previously had. The entry here remains also the same because the same like on the 1 hourly chart. It did not really change, just that this here is a scalp trade of 2.5% to the upside, and now the underlying support level is currently giving us support. We bounced off here multiple times already from that. So as long as that is holding, we should always get a move back to that resistance area here. So and then we have to see if Bitcoin can manage to reclaim that, turn that into support, and then go into the next level here, because the indicators are clearly telling us that we are getting a bounce from here. The stochastic is going up, MACD is turning around, RSI turning up. So here over the next 1 or 2 hours, I could imagine that we are seeing here a little bit of upside in the short term for Bitcoin. Then the MDX algo scalp gradients are still cooling down here. So now we have to change here our stance a little bit. As long as we are holding the weekly open, which is around $106,376, we should be fine and continue to bounce from here back to the upside. So, but if we start to get here brighter candles, so that means that we go now from this light blue into green, then we most likely get a move all the way down to $103,400, $105,000, somewhere in between. We are going to bounce then from there back to the upside, and that will be then the short-term bottom again, and a lower high from where we reverse then back to the upside, because also the react indicator is continuously trending here down, which could mean that we have a little bit more downside in Bitcoin in the midterm before we see here a huge reversal back into an all-time high. And we should not forget that every single time that we make an all-time high, we have a cool-off phase like now, and then we go back into a new all-time high. On the liquidation levels, more or less the same thing. As long as we're holding the 50 moving average, we are fine. Also here, that over-leveraged long zone at $106,370 approximately was also not touched yet, but I expect with volatility coming in based on Jerome Powell's speech later, that this will be taken out, and that we could risk here, like I just said, also here to go all the way down into the last high leveraged, not the last one, but the closest next high leveraged long pocket, to take this out here, massive support zone, and go from there then again back to the upside. And you should not forget, here is also another trade setup at $4,000 that would be activated by then to $108,000 approximately, and you could technically then continue to ride this into the higher price targets that I had given here on the other charts. So here on the daily chart, things are looking not that great. Remember what I said yesterday, usually when we get a golden cross, we get then a cool-off phase to the 50 moving average. We're here in a big resistance area, drop out of that resistance area and close the daily candle outside of it, and we most likely start to go here gradually lower and closer to the 50 moving average. So this is something that we don't want to see right now, because the next major level of support here, if I take your horizontal line for now, here's one at 100, basically 104,850 roughly, and then the next bigger one below that. So, and then the next bigger one below that is here at roughly $100,000. $100,500. So that is the major bounce area that I see for Bitcoin. If we lose that resistance area that we're currently trading in, 105,000 would be not that crazy for us. But if we break it down all the way to like 100,000, then altcoins will get hammered once again. If you want to trade these Bitcoin trades with me together, guys, do that on Blowfin. There is a link in the pin comment below and in the description. You can spin that wheel here once, absolutely for free. You don't need to deposit anything. You can win here potentially 1.2 Bitcoin, so take advantage of that. And now I can disclose what I'm working on. So I will create an alpha group that will be limited only to 200 people, guys. 200 people. I'm gonna drop the link tomorrow, after tomorrow. But you need a Blowfin account for that. You will only get access to that through a Blowfin account, and it's limited to 200 people, guys. If you sign up right now, you are automatically in if you get a Blowfin account with at least $50 in it. If not, then you are not, and you will miss out on a lot of money. I had a group like that 5 years ago. We were making crazy money, so really crazy money in the last bull run. So if you want to be part of that, you know what to do. Sign up on Blowfin and deposit at least $50. You will be automatically in that group. So now, liquidation levels here, the liquidation heat map. Here, another reason why I believe that we go down first to $105,000 is that concentrated area of long positions down here. They will most likely get tapped in the volatility of tonight, and then then the next concentrated area is all the way up here at $113,000 that will be then taken out, in my opinion. So from market maker perspective, we have here also these roundings that are starting to get smaller and smaller, and when you see these rounding tops getting smaller and smaller, that means there's most likely one more drop coming and then goes back up, because the smaller they get, the harder it is to price push lower, because there's so much buying power pushing against that, so, and that usually leads to that these rounding tops here, or whatever you want to call them, rounding domes, getting smaller and smaller, so, and then you get one capitulation candle and then it goes back up. Total free market cap still consolidating here at $883 billion. I'm absolutely fine with that consolidation here. Not really anything else to say to that, to the consolidation. Just give it time and we go here back to the upside. The Bitcoin dominance, also not a big surprise that today we are rampaging a little bit back to the upside, with Bitcoin going down and altcoins also going more down. So people run into the safe haven of Bitcoin to minimize their losses, because Bitcoin is not as volatilely dropping to the downside as altcoins do. So that's why they're exchanging the altcoins for Bitcoin, and that's why the dominance is going up a little bit again. But don't forget, I expect by next week, tomorrow, after tomorrow, definitely here another huge drop out of that rising wedge pattern. All my altcoin trades are done on Bybit, guys. I want to remind you about that. If you want to trade on Bybit, you get still $30,000 worth of bonuses, a Bybit card if you're eligible for it, and the $500 free Airdrop position, guys. Especially in times like that, where the market is going down, you want to get free positions, free, absolutely free, guys. A free position where you can money from the exchange and trade with it, and all the profits belong to you, guys. All the profits belong to you. So why don't you take that? So go to Bybit, sign up. There is a link in the pin comment below and in the description. I would definitely make use of that. Ethereum also just consolidating. We're slightly below our entry here, but the daily chart is also screaming, I want to pump to the upside here, with the stochastic already hitting the bottom RSI is slowly turning around. MACD could potentially still be a fake out. And I think we're going to get proper direction after the speech tonight and know where the market will be going over the next couple of days. If we have an extension of downwards movement where we come here back down to $2,340 approximately, I would honestly long from that point and not wait for that entry to be triggered if we get back down here, because look at that big bounce candle that we got the last time. Yeah, and then take it from there, and otherwise wait for here $2,565 to be reclaimed. But I would only do that after the speech of Jerome Powell. Then Solana, same thing. We're here at the secondary entry of that trades up here. I would still wait, honestly, here on the 4-hourly chart. If we get here a 4-hourly close at current price levels, I would consider to enter that with the stop loss here at $162 approximately. Oh, sorry, $164. And otherwise, if you think that is too risky because of the potential volatility tonight, then just wait, because you get a better entry maybe all the way down here again. Then the injective trade. So I have lowered here now the entry to $12.48 because there is a major support level. So as long as we are above that, and look here on the daily chart, as long as we are above that, we should get a bounce from there, because also here the daily chart is telling me that we are at a reversal point here in the next 48 hours. So, and yeah, there might be a good opportunity to get into injective and go all the way up here to that swing trade target of $24.40. Then Doge keeps falling here to the downside. I would still not change the entry target because it is above a major resistance level. If we come here all the way down to like 20 cents, 0.5, then I would take a long from there, because that might be the last time that you get such a low entry on Doge. Somewhere between 19 cents 0.2 to 20 cents 0.5, that would be my entry zone. I draw it here quickly into the chart for you. So here that zone would become my entry zone if we reach it for the next trade. So if we're not reaching it and we're turning around anywhere in between, then that entry point here of 23.6 is still valid. Then AVI is now above our entry level, so I hope you get into it. If not, it's not too late to do it now. We are just in roughly 1% above the entry level, because you got here on the daily chart already a buy signal. RSI is flying. MACD continues also to fly here, and I definitely see here $371 by the end of June, maybe even faster than that. Then SUI here, I would consider a SUI trade if we close today, the daily, above the golden ratio here of $3.48, $3.45. As long as we're closing above that and bouncing from the golden ratio, we should finally get a reversal, because look here how extended we're already flatlining on a stochastic RSI and also the MACD. So there has to be a reversal in the next 48 hours, in my opinion. With the volatility that we are potentially seeing later, we could go as low as $3.31, $3.25, something like that. But there definitely we're going to get a bounce, but I would still wait for a reclaim of $3.48 if that is going to happen. So if we see something like this here go down, I would wait for a reclaim, and then here the retest on a 1-hourly candle at least, and then enter this to the upside in $4.46. Guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow.